Hey there, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
So if you're building a brand online, maybe especially in the fashion resale world, which is just absolutely booming right
Oh,
now,
yeah, it's huge.
right? Maybe you're curating vintage, flipping sneakers, styling clients, whatever it is, the challenge. How do you carve out a digital space that's really yours, not just like renting space on someone else's platform?
That's the million-dollar question for so many sellers.
Exactly. Well, we've been digging into some fresh source material today. Looks like an announcement, some article excerpts too, all about a new digital development. And it seems tailor-made for this exact problem.
That's right. And our mission, really, for this deep dive is to unpack these sources. We want to figure out, okay, what is this new thing? But maybe more importantly, understand why it could be such a potential game changer, especially for branding, for independence online.
Independence, yeah.
And crucially, there's a specific opportunity mentioned in these sources, kind of an early bird thing that you'll definitely want to know about.
Okay, let's get into it. When we talk online presence, it always starts with your address, right? Your domain name, like, thedeepdive.show or your favorite shop's website, that name, and the bit after the .show, .com, .org. That's the top-level domain. The TLD.
Exactly. And according to these sources, something totally new is hitting the scene here. The .closet, TLD.
.closet.
.closet, yeah. It's being rolled out as apparently the world's first top-level domain created specifically for the fashion resale industry.
Wow, okay. The first one just for resale.
That's what the sources claim. Think of it like a dedicated digital neighborhood just for fashion resellers. They also mention it's designed as a Web3-powered solution, though they don't dive super deep into the tech details in what we saw.
Interesting. So like a specific zone online, do they give examples, make it more concrete?
They do. Examples like shopwithlisa.closet, or maybe vintage.closet,
Okay.
or johnny's.closet, threadsbyemily.closet. You see how it immediately tells you what kind of site you're visiting?
Yeah, it's instantly clear. It's part of the brand itself, tied directly to what you do. Very specific.
Right.
But here's the big question then. Why does getting your own .closet domain actually matter? Especially if you're maybe already doing pretty well selling on, say, Poshmark or eBay, Depop, whatnot.
Okay, yeah. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. And it hits on that core challenge, that vulnerability a lot of online sellers feel. The sources really hammer this point. Building your entire business only on third-party marketplaces. Now, look, platforms like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, Depop, whatnot, they're fantastic starting points, great for finding customers, no doubt.
Sure, huge reach.
But fundamentally, you're operating on, as the sources put it, rented land.
Rented land, okay, meaning you don't own it, you don't control the rules.
Precisely. And that's where .closet is positioned. It's presented as a way to establish a permanent digital home for your brand. It's about getting, complete ownership.
Ownership of your online presence.
Yes. And crucially, your seller identity. Instead of just being another profile, lost in a sea of millions on a platform, your shop with Lisa.closet is your distinct brand online, your destination.
Okay, owning your space, that feels like a really foundational thing for anyone serious about building a brand. What other benefits did the sources mention? Why else make this move?
Well, a major one they stress is freedom from algorithm dependence.
Oh, that's huge.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever seen your sales or your visibility just nosedive overnight because a platform tweaked its algorithm.
Ah, yes. So frustrating.
Exactly. So with your own .closet domain, the idea is your discoverability isn't solely at the mercy of some platforms, constantly changing rules and whims.
Right. So less time stressing about algorithm hacks and more time focusing on your actual business.
That's the pitch. And they also claim enhanced search engine visibility, better SEO. Compared to just having listings buried deep within a massive marketplace site, owning your domain like vintagevault.closet makes it easier for customers searching on Google or Bing or wherever to find you directly, not just the platform.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Being found outside the walls of the marketplace is key for real growth, for building that direct customer relationship.
Absolutely. And another big one, brand protection.
How so?
Well, securing your chosen name, say, threadsbyemily.closet, permanently means that specific digital identity is locked down for you on this TLD.
So no one else can grab it.
Exactly. If Emily gets threadsbyemily.closet first, it's hers. And the sources, they frame this as more than just, a new domain option. They actually call it a movement.
A movement.
Yeah, aimed at building this dedicated digital ecosystem by sellers for sellers in the fashion resale space.
Okay, so it's about shifting power, giving sellers more control over their destiny, their brand.
That seems to be the core message. It's positioned as a way to future-proof your brand in what's obviously a rapidly growing resale economy. One source mentioned the market size something like $36 billion.
Wow, $36 billion. That's serious scale.
It really underscores the potential, right?
Yeah.
So this TLD is presented as a tool to give individual sellers, maybe smaller businesses, access to branding tools that were traditionally maybe only available to bigger retailers. It supports this trend towards what they call decentralized commerce.
Decentralized, meaning more independent shops, not everyone funneling through one giant platform.
Basically, yeah, building your own independent presence, owning your customer relationships, your data, your brand identity.
Okay, so who specifically is this for? Who should be leaning in and paying attention, according to the sources?
They lay out a pretty clear target audience, definitely fashion resellers who are currently active on those big platforms, Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, Depop, whatnot. Basically anyone feeling that rented land frustration and looking for more control.
Makes sense. But it's broader than just them.
Yeah, definitely. They also mention independent thrift store owners, maybe someone with a physical store who wants a stronger, more branded online presence beyond just a basic site.
Okay.
Fashion stylists, micro-influencers who curate and sell items, and specialty sellers, people focusing on niches like vintage, luxury goods, sneakers were specific examples mentioned.
Right, the niche experts.
Exactly. And really, they say, any entrepreneur in this fashion space, big or small, who's serious about building a permanent, distinct brand online, one that they actually own.
Got it. So it's really aimed at those looking to establish and grow a lasting brand identity. Do the sources touch on the practical side? Like, what's it like managing one of these domains?
Yeah, they briefly covered some features. They mentioned an instant registration process, which sounds good.
Instant, okay.
Though they do note a dynamic pricing structure, which means, those really high-value keyword names, think like vintage.closet or luxury.closet, those might have premium pricing.
Which makes sense, yeah. High-demand names.
Totally. They also mentioned professional management and tech support services being available, simple admin tools for tracking ownership and renewals, and secure payments. They specifically mentioned Stripe integration for checkout.
So the back end seems thought through based on the sources.
Seems like it, yeah. Practicality's covered.
Okay, that covers the what and the why. Why building your brand on this owned digital land with .closet is positioned as so important. Now, let's get back to that crucial early opportunity you mentioned at the start. This isn't fully open for everyone to just register right now, is it?
That's the key takeaway right now. The main registration platform for .closet isn't fully live for general signups just yet. What the sources are really emphasizing heavily is this early access list.
An early access list.
Yeah, it's described as an exclusive chance to get priority registration rights before it opens up widely.
Priority. Okay, for someone building their brand, why is getting on that specific list so critical right now? What's the urgency?
This is where they use that phrase, a once-in-a-generation opportunity.
Wow, okay. Big claim.
Yeah, they compare it to the early days of .com domains. The people who got in early and snagged those prime names had a massive advantage.
Right, getting google.com or amazon.com back then.
Exactly. So joining this early access list means, one, you get notified the second registration officially opens. But the real prize is getting the first shot at claiming the specific domain names you want for your brand.
Okay. So it's literally about securing your shop name, your brand identity, that perfect vintage vault.closet before anyone else snaps it up.
That's precisely it. The sources stress this point. Nail down your name, that domain that perfectly matches your unique brand. Because once it's registered by someone, it's theirs.
And if someone else beats you to it?
Well, according to the sources, registration is strictly first come, first served when it launches. Once a name like, say, Johnny's.closet is taken, it's gone, locked up. Unless, the owner lets it expire years down the line, which you wouldn't want to rely on for your main brand name.
Definitely not.
So getting on that early access list is presented as absolutely paramount if you want to be first in line to secure your brand's permanent address on this new TLD, especially if you think your desired name might be popular.
So for listeners thinking, okay, I need this, I need to secure my brand name, where do the sources say they can actually sign up for this early access?
The sources state that you can sign up via a link. And that link is provided in associated promotional materials and video content. So basically, wherever you're hearing about .closet, like this deep dive, look in the description, look for accompanying links or materials, that's your gateway.
Got it. Find the link associated with the content you're seeing about .closet. That seems like a really clear strategic first step for anyone serious about building an enduring brand in fashion resale, moving from just, having a profile somewhere to truly owning that digital storefront.
It really is presented that way as a fundamental tool for taking control, for owning your brand's online future in a market that's frankly just keeps growing.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. The core idea, .closet, is this brand new top-level domain. The first one ever, just for fashion resale, thrift, closet-based businesses.
Right.
It's designed to give you a permanent online home, let you truly own your brand identity, escape the whims of platform algorithms, maybe boost your discoverability.
Independence and ownership.
And the most critical thing right now seems to be joining that early access list. That's your ticket to getting the first opportunity to claim your specific desired brand name as soon as registration opens, before someone else does.
That's the immediate call to action, definitely. It's all about securing that own digital real estate for your brand.
Which leaves us, and you, our listener, with a thought to maybe chew on. If you are building a brand in fashion resale or thinking about it, what specific .closet domain name would perfectly capture your unique identity, your business, and maybe more deeply, what would truly owning that piece of digital real estate, that specific dedicated space mean for your future plans? For how you connect with customers, for how you plan to grow?
Yeah, what does that ownership unlock for you?
Something powerful to consider. You look into this new .closet development and especially that early access opportunity. Find that link